Hello and welcome. Today, the internet has been interneting, and we're diving into something I've seen pop up lately, which is people cutting off family members over how they voted. With the holiday season around the corner, this trend is making waves, and while it might be justified in the heat of the moment to protect our peace, I want us all to pause and reflect. Is this really a wise choice? Let's break it down. If it is your first time here, my name is Gigi. I host this podcast called Hear Me Out, Just a Thought, which is everything wisdom in the form of faith conversations, critical thinking, and just sometimes current events and stories. So if this sounds like something you'd like to follow, hit the subscribe button so we can stick together. All right, so cutting off people for their vote. Family and friends are supposed to be our safety net, the one thing standing between us and total isolation. And of course, they're not perfect, none of us are, but they are often the people who know us best and stick by us when things get tough. The truth is, governments will not show up when we are sick, or when we need help moving, or when we just need someone to talk to, or when we give birth to our first child. But family and friends do. So why is it just now all of a sudden we're so quick to delete and forget these relationships over something like a vote? Why is it that people are taking to social media to brag about how they will not be attending the family functions, not because their families are bad people or that there has been past issues, but because of some vote? Well, let's be honest here. What we see online is a heightened version of reality. Social media amplifies the extremes, but most regular people, like you and me, are not spending their days spewing hate in the comment sections. Your mom and dad and brother and aunt and best friend, the people you have shared meals with, laughs and tears and memories with, they're not caricatures that were fed online. We need to remember that and snap out of this TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, social media trends we're all in. These people are not just a leftist or just a right-wing person. They're not just a Democrat or a Republican. They're not just a liberal or conservative. They are your family. And so I want to encourage you and me to think about the relationships we have built over time. If they have lasted this long, it's because we like some things about, our family and friends. Maybe it's their sense of humor. Maybe it's their kindness or their advice when we need it most. It could be the past memories of some high school shenanigans that developed into life friends. One vote does not erase all of that. And if it does, it means there was never anything there to begin with. And I want to also stress that people evolve. We've likely all changed our mind about something big at some point in our life. I know I have. And so should we really punish others for having different opinions when we expect grace and understanding for ourselves? Is that the kind of world we want to live in, to never be understood, to never be given grace, and to never expect people to understand our choices before cutting us off? And here's the thing. More isolation and more division will not make things better. Cutting off people because of their political choices only deepens the divide. It's how we got here in the first place. And if we don't change the course of things, the things will get worse. This time around, it could be us cutting off family because of a vote. Then next time around, cutting off friends or colleagues because of their opinion on something else. And before we know it, we have gotten into the habit of cutting people off and cutting anything in life that does not go exactly how we want it to be. And then we end up unsatisfied, intolerant, more anxious, and mostly alone. The key to progress isn't shutting people out, it's all opening dialogue. And when disagreement happens, to just accept and move on. So this holiday season, I'm going to make it cheesy and make a list of the things we need to remember. The first thing is to spend less time online and more time in real life. Social media is not real life. Let's go touch grass, and then surely we will be reminded that people are not evil, but the lens through which we look at the world is distorted. So I challenge anyone who is thinking of cutting off people they love for this holiday season because of a vote to cut their social media time and see if their perspective changes. Let me know in the comment section if you're up for the challenge or if you know somebody that should take on that challenge, and let's see how it goes. Second is to talk to people that we disagree with. We might be surprised at what we learn, not about politics, but about why we have kept them in our life this long. People are not one-dimensional. They have stories, they have qualities, they have flaws, but they also have stories with you. They have good memories with you. Most of the people that are in your life currently and have been for such a long time love you and you love them, although they are imperfect and you are as well. Then we should reflect on what cutting someone off for their vote or opinion says about our capacity for tolerance and navigating life's challenges. Like I said, if we are to cut and push away and close our eyes and ears in the face of anything we disagree with, what does that say about us in being able to just live life? The world is not ours. We are not masters and kings and queens of the world, and the world should not cater to our every need, our every preference. So what does it say when we cut off our closest relationships because of their opinions that differ from ours? That is not growth. And then think about the future. If we keep cutting people off, where are we going to end up? Because spoiler alert, we will end up alone, or maybe surrounded online by people who agree with us, only people who agree with us. And I'm going to have you guess what will happen the minute our opinions will differ from our online friends that agree with us. And finally, we can consider this. How many times have we changed our mind on something? How many times have we grown out of a phase and when we looked back wondered, what was I thinking? What if people that we loved and loved us had shunned us during that process? The truth is also that we are navigating a system that is dividing us, pitting us against each other so that it can serve itself. Life is not just a two sides to a coin type of thing. Life is real people with emotions, with experiences, with different priorities and different means who are making the best choices they can to live. So the system can only serve itself, but we don't have to play into it. Before taking any drastic actions, let's pause, reflect, and ask ourselves if this is really what we want to do. Let's choose connection over division and love over judgment. And of course, protecting our peace is important, but becoming totally incapable of existing in the same space than our loved ones is just shooting ourselves in the foot for the long run. And being wise, speaking of wisdom, being wise is thinking and identifying which feelings are only for the moment and which feelings will last long term. It's recognizing that we might be just following a trend or falling into a trap from a system versus really making decisions that will make us grow. All right, that's it for me. If you liked this message, hit that notification bell to be notified whenever a new video is out. And of course, subscribe to this to see more of these to keep the conversations going. I will see you next time.